exception are thrown by function. Exception are thrown by function. In previous example, exception thrown from try block statement. Okay, exception thrown from try block statement. The second type of mechanism, the exception thrown by function. Suppose the exception throw point present inside the function. So this is called the general form of that. First we define the function. Okay, this is a return type. Okay, function argument list. Return type function argument list. This function that is a function with exception causing statement. The functions with the exception causing statement. Suppose the exception causing statement is produce exception at the time the object throw is thrown by throw statement. So throw the object. So these functions have the functions with exception statement. The exception is produced that produce exception thrown by throw statement. Okay, throw exception. The throw exception is catched by catch block, then handle the exception. Okay, here try block. Try block is using only invoke the function. So invoking the function here. Okay, so the try and the catch block it should be present inside the main function. Okay, the function is separate. The function is defined before the main function or after the main functions. Okay, so first we execute the try block. Try block, inside the try block we invoking the function. So the statement is transferred here, then is compile the functions. So inside the functions we have the exception causing statement. Okay, suppose the exception is produced, the type of exception is thrown by throw statement. Okay, this is a throwing exception. Okay, then throwing exception is catched by catch statement. So there is an argument catch should be matched the throw argument and the catch argument. The exception handling statement inside the catch block is executed. Okay, right. The same concept is discussed in the diagram manner. Okay, here the try block invoking a function, that function containing an exception. That function is containing an exception. Okay, so invoking the invoking function is transferred to the right. So the function that caused the exception, okay, that exception is throw in the throw point. So throw point is using the throwing exception, the throw exception. The throw exception is catched by catch block. Okay, then catch and handle the exception. Okay, in previous examples we have only two blocks. One is called try block, another is called catch block. Here the catch block, throw point and the catch block. Okay, so once the catch block is completed, the program transferred, the program cannot return to throw point, is only written to try block. Okay, is only written to try block. Catch block, after completing the handling the exception, the catch block transfer the program control to try block is not a throw point. Okay, right. This is the second type of exception handling mechanism. So now we are going to see the example of this type of exception handling. Second example has include IO stream using namespace std. Okay, this is function. Okay, this is a function, divide function. Divide function, suppose the throw point present inside the function. Okay, right. So this is a return type is void. This is a function name. This is the argument list. Okay. Right. Here you passing the three argument: integer x, integer y, and integer z. Okay. Right. So first the display statement, that is a see out inside the functions. So after the function is invoking, first the standard output statement will be displayed, that is mean by inside the function. Okay. Second, you check the condition. So this is called that is exception causing statement. So cause the exception statement. Okay. If x minus y is not equal to 0, x minus y, so after getting the value x minus y, that value is not equal to 0. Not equal to 0 means that is okay. So okay, that is okay. Then enter into the block int r is a result. So result equal to z divided by x minus y. Z divided by x minus y, finally getting the result r equal to display the final result. Suppose here x minus y equal to 0. Okay. So suppose the x minus y not equal to 0, the value of x minus y is 0, at the time the statement is not okay. The condition is not okay. Suppose the problem is occurred. So enter into the else part. Enter into the else part. The statement is not satisfied, at the time the else part will be worked. So else part, else throw the x minus y value. X minus y value. Suppose x value is also integer, y value is also integer. So x minus y value is also integer. So suppose here you passing the object type is integer. So this called through point. This called through point. This through point is present inside the function. Through point is present inside the function. So the function definition is closed. Function definition is closed. This is called function definition. Function definition is closed. This is called, that is a exception cause statement. Okay, exception cause statement. Okay, exception cause statement. So here the throw point present the function. Right. Second, we define the main function. We already told that example diagram, the try and catch block should be present inside the main function, and the throw point functions outside the main functions. Okay, this is called throw point functions. Throw point functions. So next the int void main, int main, try block is started. So this is called the try statement. That is try block statement. So enter into the try block. Inside the try block statement will be displayed. So after that you calling the function. After that you calling the divide function. So first you calling the divide function with the argument 10, 20, 30. Okay. So first you call the divide argument 10, 20, 30. 10, 20, 30. So x order value is a 10. So y order value is also 20, 30. Okay. Then you come to x minus y. So x minus y means x minus y. Okay. So x minus y. X minus y. What is meant by x minus y? X minus x order value is x minus y. The x order value is called, what is that? X order value is 10 minus y order value is 20. So we are getting the value of minus 10. Getting the value of minus 10. Okay. So the minus 10 is not equal to 0. The minus 10 is not equal to 0. Okay. So then execute this statement. Execute this statement is finally producing the answer. Finally producing the answer. Right. Second, you calling the function divide. Okay. Here you passing the arguments 10, 10, 20. Here is the passing the argument 10, 10, 20. So now the x minus y values, x minus y value equal to 10 minus 10. So 0. Suppose the condition is false. The condition is not satisfied. So enter into this else part. So throw x minus y. X minus y what value is? This previous value is 10. Now the value is 0. Okay. The 0 is transferred to catch statement. 0 is transferred to catch statement. So throw is transferred to catch statement. So throw 0. 0 is the integer. So getting the catch. What is that? Catch int I equal to 0. Finally, caught the exception I, that is mean by 0. So caught the exception 0. Then is written the 0. So first try block. Then inside the try block we call the function. So after we calling the function is switched over to here. The function is switched over to here. Then the function is executed. The function, the problem causing statement is successfully executed. The result will be produced. Suppose you find out any error in the statement, that time enter into the else portion. That is mean by throw exception. So throw exception, throw the exception, then catch by the exception is catch block. Then finally handling the exception after completing everything. So return 0. Return 0 because main is integer. Okay. This is called what is that? The throw point by function inside the function. Throw point present inside the function. Throw point present inside the function. Okay. Now, so here we are using the what is that? The exception handling mechanism in 3 parts. Okay. One is called the try part. Another is called the throw. So finally is catch. Okay. So various types we are using the throw mechanism. Various type using the throwing mechanism. So throwing mechanism. Throwing mechanism. Next, catching mechanism. Throwing mechanism and catching mechanism. So exception is encountered in exception encountered. It is thrown using the throw statement. Exception encounter. It is thrown by throw statement. Okay, thrown by throw statement. Here normally we thrown the throw statement in 3 types. Okay. The first one is called throw bracket exception. Second, throw exception. Third, throw. Okay. So this example, throw of x. Okay. So this example, throw x. This as it is, throw. Okay. So this throw is also used for re-throwing concept. Is also used for re-throwing concept. We cannot throw any kind of exception. We cannot throw any kind of exception because we don't know which kind of exception is occurred. That time we are using just throw. Just throw statement. Okay, right. In this time, next catching mechanism. Catching mechanism, it having the code how to handle the exception. The catching statement having the code how to handle the exception. That the exception thrown by throw statement. The thrown by throw statement exception is catch by catch statement. The catch block have the code for how to handle the exception. Okay, defaultly the catch block is like a function definition. Catch block is like a function definition because the catch block have catch argument list body of catch. Okay, so this like the function definition. So function name like catch. Okay, this is the argument list, that is meant by type of arg. Okay, like integer I. Then this statement, that is the execution, handling of exception statement is called the body of the catch. So this coding like the function definition. The coding like function definition. Okay, so the catch have used for multiple way. The catch block is used in multiple way. At the same time, multiple type of catch block is also used in a single program. Okay. At the same time, the catch receive the multiple type of throw exception simply with the using of catch 1, 2, 3. Simply using like this catch. So here, what is that? Cought, C-A-U-G-H-T, caught exception, caught exception. So suppose I don't know what type of object is thrown with using of throw statement. Suppose integer, catch is integer type. Suppose float catch is also float type. But we don't know what type of object thrown by throw statement. So that time we are using the 3 point. Okay, 3 point inside the catch statement. This means the multiple thrown is accepted by single catch statement. Multiple thrown is accepted by single catch statement. Okay, now we are going to see multi-type of catching mechanism used in a single program. How to using the multi-type of catching statement using in a single program. Multiple catch statement using in a single program. Okay. Suppose we encountered many number of exceptions at the time of program executions. Okay, many kind of exception it's produced at the time of exception. You handle that many exception, you need many multiple catch statement. So here the example of multiple catch statement program. So try block, we have the exception for throw integer, throw character, or throw double or float. Okay, at the time we need 3 kind of catch statement to receive the exception and handle the exceptions. Okay, here suppose the throw statement you passing the argument 1 type, so the catch type 1 is working. Second type, the catch type 2 argument is working. Third, the catch 3 type argument is working. So here we producing the 3 type of exception. Okay, at the time you handle the 3 type of exception, we need the 3 type of catch statement. Okay, so this is the concept. Here we are using the program. Suppose first we already know what is that? Include IO string, no need to .h. Okay, second you include using namespace std semicolon. Then finally you creating a one function. So finally creating a one function. Last class we seen that second example. Okay, right? Void test. Void test is the function. Test you have the only one argument, that is the integer argument, integer x. Okay, so here in previous example, try and catch blocks are using the main function. Here we are using try and throw using inside the function and catch using outside the function but before the main function. Outside the function but before the main functions. Okay, right. Here using this void test integer x try block have 3 kind of causing statement. Okay, right. First you check the positive argument x equal to 1 through the x, that is mean by 1, that is mean by integer. Okay, right. Next, else if x equal to 0, the argument is 0, at the time throw x is called character, because single quotes lo podukala, that is mean by character constant. Okay, else if x value is -1, at the time they throw the exception 1.0. 1.0 is a float or double. Okay, here we creating the three type of exception. Okay, creating the this program is encountered the three causes. Okay, three type of exceptions. One is called integer exception, another one is called a character exception, another one is called what is that, double exceptions. Okay, so one. Okay, right. Next, catch statement. There are the three kind of catch statement. There is the multiple catch statement using inside a program. Okay, first catch integer m. Okay, the catch integer m is catching the argument x equal to 0 through x. Right. Second, catch character c. The character c is the second type. So is receiving the character object. So if x equal to 0 throw character constant. Okay, character constant. So using this catch statement for this to row statement. Next, finally the -1. -1. Suppose the statement is executed equal to -1 is through 1.0. 1.0 is a double. Okay, right? Here you are catching the double T. Okay, so first catch statement using for this, second using for this, third using for this. Okay, so multiple throw statement here use, multiple catch statement here use. Okay, right. In void main we are using the 3 times the test function is invoked. 3 times the test function is invoked. First time the test of 1. Test of 1. Okay, right. Suppose integer value is 1. Okay, you try if x equal to 1. We passing the value is 1. So 1 equal to 1. So throw the 1. Through the 1. So this exception, that is mean by count and integer. This exception is worked. Second, you passing the value 0. Okay. Here x value 0. So x 0. 0 equal to 0. Yes, condition is true. Second time, throw the constant, throw the x constant, x variable is constant. Okay, that is the character constant. So here the C receive the x. Okay, so character, what is it? Argument type. Okay, right? So the caught a character exception. Caught a character exception. Finally, test -1. So here x value is -1. So -1 equal to -1? Yes, true. So at the time the throw function is thrown the 1.0. 1.0 means double. Okay, here we receive the D double 1.0. So here you caught the double exception. Okay, so you passing the integer, you catching through in the catch integer statement. Okay, so you passing the float catch statement executed. You passing the character catch statement will be executed. So this is an example for multiple catch statement using a single program. Okay, you already know on concept catch or exception. Catch or exception. Suppose in try block we cannot predict the what type of encounter problem is occurred. What type of encounter, that is mean by exception cannot anticipated. Exception cannot anticipated, and we cannot able to design the independent rule of code to handle the function, to handle the error. At the time we are using the, what is that, catch or exception. Catch or exception. At the time we are using the catch or exception using the code catch. Okay, so this is called the catch or exception code. Okay, when we use the catch all exception code, okay, we cannot anticipate the type of exception is caused by the program. We cannot predict. So how to handle that? We cannot produce individual handling code for that exception. At the time, you all kind of exception we catch by a single catch block statement. So that block statement written like this: catch, okay, function bracket, triple point, okay, point, closing the function bracket, okay, right? So this is the catch or exception statement. Rethrowing an exception. Okay, a handler may decided to rethrow an exception caught. So a handler may decided to rethrow an exception caught without processing them, without specifying any argument. So here the rethrowing mechanism may be decided to not handle that exception. That exception simply rethrow the another catch statement without specifying any argument type. Okay, so this is only possible the statement throw semicolon. Because here we cannot need not to pass any one of the exception object. So this is called rethrow exception statement. Okay, right. Here example. This is the third example of exception handling mechanism. Here include IO string using namespace std. Here using one function. That function is called divide. You passing the two argument double x double y. So inside the function we have try, throw, catch statement, and also main functions we have only try and catch. Main function only try and catch. So this is a second type of example. So try, you have a function call. So again the function shifted here. Then you making another try. Okay, you check that. Suppose the condition falls through the exception. So exception is catched by inside the function catch statement. Okay, rethrow the statement. The rethrow exception is catched by outside the function statement. That means inside the main function. Okay, how to this program is executed first. Okay, right. Listen. Divide. Okay, you call the function divide. So divide, you passing the argument 10.5 and 2.0. So the function called this. Okay, here x value is 10.5, y value is 2.0. Okay, first you come out inside the function, then try block executed, then check that y value. Okay, y value is 2.0. So 2.0 equal to 0? No. The 2.0 is not equal to 0. So this is come out here. Okay, right, just to display the answer. So 10.5 divided by 2.0, you getting the answer is what is that, 5.25, I think 5.25. So the answer is 5.25. Okay, then you come out end of the function. Okay, right. Second time you passing the divide 20.0 and 0.0. So now the x value is 20, y value is 0.0. Then you come out inside the function, the statement will be printed. Next, try block executed. Then you check that y value again. So now its y value is 0.0. 0.0 is equal to 0.0. Yes. So this condition is true. This condition is true means we threw y. What is mean by y? Y is nothing but a 0.0. 0.0 is a one of the double value. Okay, one of the double value. So throw double. So throw double. So throw double is catch by catch double. Okay, that is mean by catching a double. So throw double is catch by catch double. Okay, catch double, because the catch double is present inside the same function. Catch double is present inside the same function. Okay, right. Now enter into the catch block. Okay, so CO caught double inside the function. CO caught double inside the function. Okay, next it's rethrow. Next the statement is rethrow. Rethrow means rethrow only catch outside the catch block of that group. Outside the catch block of that group. So here catch, the throw is not again come to here, is come out from that function and it transferred to outside of this group. So it is transferred to here. So here you catch the double value. Okay, so here you catch the double value because you have not mentioned anything. So just rethrow. So rethrow the outside of the group. Okay, so outside the group. So it transferred to here. Then you producing the output statement caught double inside the main. Then it's executed at the end of the main function. So this concept is called rethrow. Rethrow concept in a single program. In a single program. So these are the examples of exception handling mechanism is effectively using in C++ programming for object-oriented concept. This exception handling program execute only the higher version of C++ compiler. That is meant by 4.5. I think 4.5 above the compiler version is should support the exception handling mechanism.